A black man invented the light bulb, not a white guy named Edison.
Y'all see this look on my face right here after listening to that panda bear Joe Biden, creepy, sleepy, sloppy, slimy, sleazy Joe, who finally done came off the bench because he had to, and he needs to address all this unchecked, motivated violence that's coming from his party, the supporters of all of this garbage running around in their cities to try to change the narrative that it's not us. Even though we denied the violence even existed, but now, thank you all of you citizens that showed us that it really does exist by showing us that our poll numbers have dropped. That right there opened our eyes to see what we've been missing this whole time. And now that we're able to see it, we've identified it not as people who vote for us and support our campaign and people we support to do these type of acts, but instead it's coming from Donald Trump's rhetoric, the flames that he is fanning, all of these white supremacists and MAGA hat wearers that we don't see in any of the violent footage. But nonetheless, we trust that you guys are such idiots that support us that you won't even question that. You won't question that. So what I need to do is crack my old skeleton bones, put on a mask, and come out and try to pander to black folks, okay? Which is so, why? Why do they let this happen? So this guy comes into the black church. Trump goes down there first, and he's like, well, I can't let Trump do it. Well, I don't do it. I'm going down there. Now everybody talking about, well, Trump, why ain't he condemn Kyle? Why ain't he address the guy who got shot 7 times in his back that we made a hero of that doesn't deserve to be a hero? See, and before I move on and finish with Joe Biden, I just want to address that first. So now we're at a place in America because of rhetoric coming out of the left, because of them looking at all of these shootings that might take place or anything that they could say this is racist. We no longer require some type of law and order. We no longer require a process to find out the evidence to make a final conclusion. What we just need is somebody to come over the radio and say, we got shots fired, it's a black man down, 2 white officers on the scene, and immediately they call up their hit people, Antifa, Black Lives Matter. They get on TV with MSNBC, NBC, all the Democrats rush to microphones, and what do? Oh man, a black man got shot again. No, we don't need no details. I mean, the folks start tearing up stuff. Folks was out there talking about, man, he was out there, man, he was trying to break up a fight and the cop just came up. I saw Joy Reid on TV the other day say the real reality outside of what Mike Pence and Donald Trump says Joe Biden's America would look like. The real reality is that we have a black man that was shot in the back 7 times by a police officer for simply getting in his car. Really? It was that simple. Now, they don't even expect y'all to question it if you watch those channels. Because, see, this is what a rational thinker would run through their brain. You're telling me this guy rolls up on the scene like a hero. Hey, you guys stop all that, break that mess up. Now you go over there, you go over there. Apologize. Okay, I don't want to see you up here causing trouble again. I'm out of here. Walks to his car, okay, opens the door, blank, 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 and gets shot. That's how simplistic she described it. With no check, nobody said, Joy, that you left out a whole bunch of details. Now, I just want to bring this to everybody's attention. And I know some black people and white liberals might get a little offended by this. But that dude got himself shot. Now, The sad part about that is when you dig a little deeper, you'll find that that dude shouldn't have been at that woman's house because she accused him of sexual assault in the past. Restraining order, but you know, he don't care about that. So she wakes up, he's standing over her. And she's like, what the heck are you doing in my room? Then he commenced to do some things that just was foul, that I ain't gonna even mention. With her kid laying there. Then takes her keys and I think a credit card or something, went, bought some stuff for her, even took some money out, something like that. Now she calls the cops. The cops show up. He has a history of abusing her, beating her, showing up, doing things like that to her. Then, not to mention, there's a warrant out for this dude. Now, none of that was brought out. All we heard was this man got shot in his back 7 times for nothing by a white cop. First of all, the cop wouldn't be in that neighborhood if the woman that's the real victim didn't have a purpose to call them. It wasn't like the cops were just riding around like, yeah, we up in, oh man, there go another brother right there. Let's get out and put some hot lead into him. It didn't go down like that. So when they on the way, they go, well, this guy has a warrant out for his arrest. They tried to arrest the dude. It gets physical. Heard one of them was in the headlock. Then they hit him with the tasers twice. I don't know how he shook that off. And then he gets loose as the guy's trailing him with the gun, saying, stop. He goes to open the door. The guy tries to grab him, but it's too late. Opens the door, and he gets shot. Folks wonder, well, man, he ain't got to shoot him 7 times. Well, you know what? You didn't have to abuse that woman all that time. You didn't have to steal her keys, not give her car, take her wallet. All of the stuff this dude did. This dude didn't have to fight with the cops. He didn't have to keep walking when the cops... All of this stuff that led to it. They have absolved him of any other responsibility. And you know why? Because of people like Pandering Joe and the rest of the Democrats and the liberal media. So instead of putting it all together so folks can see how this all led to this, no, we don't want to. We want to start the evidence right when you see him open the door and get shot in the back. Because if we focus on the real victim, which was this woman that we claim, we are always fighting for. But I guess it's not Me Too season. See, this is racist season. Okay? See, if she would have got this done to her in the Me Too season, then they could have focused on her. But instead, that season's over. We're in racist season now. So forget her. We don't want you looking at her. We don't want you to see her statement. We don't want y'all to interview her because then you won't do what we tricked all of y'all to do, which is deem this criminal as some type of hero or victim, and now he's another face of fighting against racism. So, as this victim is sitting somewhere, she's seeing his name on the back of football helmets, jerseys. People are talking about boycotting for this guy. GoFundMe money is dumping in for this dude who was a full-blown criminal. So now she gets to sit back and go, well, this is what you get for being a criminal? I mean, if you are black and you break all kind of laws, you know, assault women and all that stuff, as long as they could say, now, you know, who do we need to focus on here? See, should we focus on the woman in this case, which will give us no political clout? So let's go ahead and just kind of shove that on, you know, to the side. Let's focus on this criminal who, for whatever reason, a series of events led him right to getting himself shot. But they don't want you to see all of that. So now this guy becomes a hero. Folks that are dumb don't even question it anymore. They have tricked folks that have bought into this fake racial narrative to see right as wrong and wrong as right. They now see the lawless as we need to defend them, and then the lawful as y'all are racist. See, and folks, whoop, right over the head. And then you got creep, sleep, sloppy slime rolling in, trying to capitalize off of it and pandering to that small black group of folks that was handpicked to be in this church. And then Joe Biden says some mess like this.
We gotta, for example, Why in God's name don't we teach history in history classes? A black man invented the light bulb, not a white guy named Edison. Okay? There's so much. Did anybody know before what's recently happened? That Black Wall Street in Oklahoma was burned to the ground? Anybody know these things? We act because we don't teach them. We got to give people facts.
Finally, in October 1879, Edison had a breakthrough. And by early 1880, Edison's bulbs could last some 600 hours.
Meet Lewis Howard Latimer, the man who played an important role in Edison and Bell's historic work. Latimer learnt so much about light bulbs that by 1881, along with Joseph Nichols, he registered a patent for a light bulb.
Did y'all hear that carefully crafted sentence and statement of panderation? This man cracked a safe. They went into the vault and said, when in doubt, break glass, bring out the heavy, pure, uncut panderation in an emergency. So now he comes in there and he addresses something that has nothing to do with anything. Talking about some, why don't we teach history? Why don't we? Now all of a sudden he wants to promote black history. See, he wants to now say, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pretend to throw my own race. See, I have no respect for any white liberal who's willing to throw their own race under the bus. Throw individuals under the bus who deserve it. But to sit back and blanketly say, all white people are guilty, all black people are ignorant, all these things that the left major in, you are dumb if you adopt that mentality. Play right into it. This guy don't hate white people. In fact, I think he don't like black folks, but he knows that he has to play the game to, of course, pander and get those votes. So because it's a part of their business model, this dude gets out there bringing up black history. And I'm thinking to myself, now, you just did this to the same Muslim audience a couple weeks ago on the conference call. You know what? I've been a big fan of saying that we need to teach Islam in schools. I don't know why they don't do it. And you guys are an integral part of American society. They need to teach about Islam in school. What? What are you saying? So, whatever victimized, marginalized group y'all create, you go in and say, we need to do this, that for all of y'all. Do you think Joe Biden really means they need to teach Islam? I mean, as much as the left whines about saying prayer before school start, pledge allegiance, all of that stuff, you think he really was suggesting that? He was pandering, and it works. That's the sad part about it. So now here he is again, and he's talking to black folks. So now all of a sudden he wants to be a history teacher and talk about Thomas Edison and the light bulb, and they must have slighted the black man because it was really, and even got that screwed up. But here's the point before I let y'all go. The one part of history that he forgot to teach and lay out is the history of the folks responsible for all of the racism, segregation, Jim Crow, Willie Lynch, the KKK, Margaret Sanger, his own historical past of wanting segregated schools, talking about I don't want my kids growing up in a racial jungle. Or how about let's do that history lesson on that crime bill that locked up a lot of these black brothers that now you talking about this is a shame. All these black men in prison, they need to go free. All these folks that they shouldn't have went to jail for just a drug charge, that the bill you wrote locked them up. Teach that part of history, Joe, since you want to teach a history lesson. This type of stuff makes me throw up in my mouth. Send this video to every black person out here that hates Donald Trump. I wish they could put on your transparent glasses to let you see into these just hucksters. Hold on, wait a minute. Democrats, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me if I was angry. Dun, 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 only if you ever watched Incredible Hulk back in the day, you would know that reference. Anyway, so God bless. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. The links are below. What else? Oh, check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, click on the link below. Put Kevin in the promo code. You get a 20% discount. If you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link below the video to do that as well. We'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. And watch out for those panda bears running around out there, because they're vicious. They are vicious. They will show up on the scene talking about it ain't nothing wrong with being a bartender. They will roll up in your church talking about eyes don't feel no waste time. Eyes come too far. They will show up at your grill out with some hot sauce and a bucket of chicken with all types of fat back collard greens and black-eyed peas. All of that stuff. They will get out there and dance and all that, whatever they got to do to get that vote. So watch out for those panda bears, because they are vicious. God bless.